Now, with KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi having made explosive allegations that high-ranking politicians are involved in criminal activity, we now look at how criminal syndicates work and operate and how they infiltrate governments. To talk to us about this, we're joined by security expert Andy Mashaile. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, these explosive allegations have resulted in President Cyril Ramaphosa talking about a security risk to the country. What's at stake?
A number of serious things are at stake. One, national security is threatened by what as the president has clearly mapped it out. It is also important to realize that the safety and security of the people of this country is being compromised, and the programs that are aimed at ensuring that there is that safety and security, and there is that trust in the police. The trust deficit gap is brought closer, and these incidents are just one or two things that we need to really focus on.
So we know that Police Minister Senzo Mchunu has since denied any links to organized crime, accused Nhlanhla. How best can one understand the very intricate layers of organized crime and how syndicates operate?
And the modus operandi of syndicates or super syndicates that we have seen all over the world, and we are seeing them rear their ugly heads in our country. They only have to get to one individual, that individual who might love money, that individual who might have connections with decision makers, and that individual who would be corrupt to the core but looking very nice, who would then influence the processes so that they can open the door to the syndicates and drop off money for decision makers, and that decision maker will then lead to other decision makers in the process of what the syndicate is looking for.
So another analyst who was speaking was saying that it might seem like the crime accused Nhlanhla is a one-man show, but you know, if he's out of the picture, there will always be someone else to replace him. I mean, what does that speak to when it comes to the manner in which this crime operates?
The syndicates, this is how they work. You have the commander of the operation at the top. You have the lieutenants under him. You have captains until up to your runners. So Boket Matlala would form part and parcel of what we call, when we profile them, what we call the runners. When they are arrested, someone else would close in that space. A new runner would come into the picture. And this is how syndicates are operating. When one runner gets arrested, it does not matter how much that runner has, how much money he has in the bank. But when that runner is arrested, a new one comes into space. Obviously, when it is hot as it is, people take a step back to be able to can focus in on what is going on, so that a new method of operation would be put into place, so that they're able once again to have a foothold in on the things that they're looking for, the people that they would like to influence, the tenders that they would like to get, and many of these things that syndicates would be looking for. Who else? What area can we distribute these drugs? What area can we go and conquer, so that we can be able to extract coal and put our trucks in there, so that we can supply either ESCOM or any other institution. I am just using an example to illustrate how syndicates work.
We also know that KZN Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has spoken about how he no longer feels safe and only trusts the Special Task Force and the Tactical Intervention Unit to protect him. We heard National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola talking about how he's received threats on his life. I mean, what scale are we looking at here with these threats and the startling revelations that have come from Mkhwanazi?
I am looking at a period of no less than 12 months, if not 24 months of full-time protection for the whistleblower, in this case, the Provincial Commissioner of KZN, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Obviously, because he belted out names, he belted out institutions. What he did is he broke down the value chain of syndicates. Remember, he also indicated that there are judges, there are prosecutors, there are rogue police officers, there are businessmen in Gauteng. So those individuals stand to lose a lot of money and influence should they be known. I can imagine if there is a judge in that process, any other judge would not want to be mentioned in this matter that Mkhwanazi has clearly brought out. So this is very, very serious. Yes, the security of Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi needs to be beefed up, and the level of risk is very high. And not only for him, the whole family members need to be secured so that nothing can come over and happen to him or the family as a whole.
And what do these shocking revelations reveal about the police, the policing system?
When we talk about the rogue police officers, these revelations show you that the value chain of policing has some rusted, some of them are rusted links, some of them are facilitators and enablers of crime. Obviously, any crime has generators and facilitators. And some of these cops that have been mentioned to be rogue, it tells us that your policing system has some serious challenges. Also taking into consideration leadership accountability. I know of people or police officers who would not want to share information with their seniors because their seniors would at a certain stage share openly which police officers shared what kind of information. Let us take you back to the late General Maswangani. You know, he was arresting a sizable number of criminals when he was killed some 4 or 5 years back, if not 6 years back. Remember the police officer who came from the Val who was arrested and was prosecuted and convicted. That warrant 52-year-old warrant officer, meaning a police officer having been involved in the killing of a general who was doing his job brilliantly and successfully so.
Yeah, very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening and weighing in on this debate, on this topic, pardon me. That was security expert Andy Mashaile.